So if you'd like to join us on Zoom, feel free to do that. All of the connections, how to get onto Zoom, are on Tyson Bennigan on Facebook. If you're already connected to Zoom and you know how to operate that, then the Zoom meeting number is 901-176-8122. So that's 901-176-8122. And we've just lost Facebook again. So for those that are, so Annette, you are live. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're sort of coming in and out.
Oh, okay, I'll take my phone somewhere, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm doing much better, thank you.
All right, so we're now live back on Facebook, and we're now talking to Annette Theodosin, and she is on Zoom. So if you'd like to join us over on Zoom, feel free to do that. All the connections are on Tyson Bennigan Facebook page. If you already have Zoom downloaded, the number is 901-176-8122. And just before I go to Annette, you can also call in toll-free in North America, 1-866-369-7464. That's 1-866-369-7464. And over to Annette. So Annette, how are you?
Doing much better, a lot better actually.
Great.
And I took your advice. If you do your dowsing, can you check to see how well I'm doing right now?
Sure, just give me a sec. I'll get my pendulum out and see how you're doing on a scale of 0 to 100. So right now, your energy field is about 80. So that's better than it's been for a long, long time. So great. So what have you been doing to keep yourself clear?
At the point of discovering that there was some things put in. I have more of a direct route now to the archangels and to the higher realms. Although, even though I do the dowsing every day, about they still in sneaky ways get up to higher realms. So get up to my higher self. So higher realms in order to manifest clear.
Great. So we're just talking to Annette.
And working
we're back on Facebook Live, and we're just talking about the fact that her energy field when we dowsed was at 80%, which is much higher than normal. So I was asking her the question, so what have you been doing to be able to keep your energy field clear? And so she was just answering that. So in a nutshell, in summary, Annette, what have you been doing?
I've been clearing the root cause of a lot of my was projection of fear, and a lot of fear that was projected in certain ways through a grid. And so that was eliminated, and it was very heavy. Then the manifestation channels to bring in through a hierarchy of archangels is much very much.
They're breaking up a bit. So she was talking about fear as being the driving force or the gateway into her energy field, which is really true. You know, if you're having trouble with entities or you're feeling drained or down, particularly at this time of transformation and change, then one of the things that you can do is really manage your energy field, your emotions, and to stay out of fear, doubt, shame, guilt, all those primary negative emotions really drain your energy field. And at a high energy rate, you know, like if your field is, you know, 75% or more closed, or you're 75% in your body, however you want to describe that, then you will have enough energy in your system to repel any intrusion into your energy system. If you're less than that, and particularly if you're 50% or more open to, then all sorts of things can affect you, both entity-wise, disincarnate beings, all those, ETs, government intervention, all those sorts of things, mind control, voodoo, shamanism, all that is a way into your field through shame, guilt, fear, doubt, all those negative emotions. So the more you can clear yourself and stay out of those emotions, the better off that you're going to be, particularly at this time when there's so much going on the planet that, politically and sociologically, emotionally and mentally, that to get off center, to get into those negative emotions is very easy to do. So we encourage you to find your way back to gratitude, to bliss, to forgiveness. And when you're dwelling in those energies, your energy field goes up. And at a certain point, when your overall field is at 50% or more, climbing to 70, 75 or more, then you're free. You have no more intrusion, no more voices in your head, no more craziness going on in your life. And at 80% or higher, then magic starts to happen in your life. You're at the right place at the right time to meet the right people. Synchronicity happens, abundance starts to flow, and your life takes on more ease and grace. So it's really worth your time and effort to do this work, is to learn how to clear, how to keep yourself out of trouble emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, and do the work. You do the work, and guess what? You get the results. It's just as simple. So we lost Annette, and she's about to come back on. So between losing people on Facebook and losing them on Zoom, somehow we'll have a continuity in the program that we're delivering today. So Alexandra, if you're still there, and if you want to get on to Zoom or figure out how to do that, we can have a conversation. But thank you for tuning in from Portugal. It's great to know that we're reaching other countries. And don't forget, you can also listen to The Wellness Show, www.thewellnessshow.ca. We have listeners in 40 countries. We're having 500 or more people listening to each show. We're averaging 1,000 to 1,500 downloads per month. So help grow the network, help join the club, help participate, so you too can have the latest and greatest from healers and those that are raising consciousness planetary-wise that I get to interview. All right. We have Marietta de la Cruz joined, and we have Lulu Loverose. I asked her the question, why is the Rainbow Children's Network courses the Theta course so expensive? And I was explaining that this is set by the instructor who certifies everybody out of the United States, whose name is Strobel. And I'll just show you, this is, if you missed this is her, this is her right here, and this is one of her main books on Theta, Advanced Theta Healing. And so they're the ones that set the fees for being certified. And as I mentioned, if you didn't hear previously, you can still come attend the courses, learn all of that for $250, so Canadian. So there's really no reason not to come. Money shouldn't be an issue. And even for the expense of certification, there's $500 scholarships available. They're by request or by application. So if you feel that you would qualify for one of those and want to do a work exchange, then you can come and do that as well. So just hold this up so Annette can see too. So this is the training for the Rainbow Children. Also, there's more online with this as well. So here's the poster for those that are on Zoom. Rainbow Children's Camp and Network. And they're going to be right here in the Sunny Shoe Shop, just down the road. We've rented the community hall. And so if you're, the parent of Rainbow Children or grandparents, and you're wanting to know how to work with these unique kids who are the forerunners of the new consciousness being birthed on the planet, then get in touch with us in an 800 number 1-866-369-7464, and we'll get you registered so you can come and participate. And if this is too far away for you, you can always arrange for 10 or 12 people in your community to host John at Charette to come to your community and certify you or somebody in your community to bring these teachings to your crystal children or star children. If you want to know more about star children, it'd be great to listen to the 3 interviews that I just did on the Wellness Show, the www.thewellnessshow.ca, which are the series on the Sasquatch people and some of the interspecies genetic coding between Sasquatches and humans has allowed for star children to be birthed onto this planet. I mean, we're all star children in one way, but more recently, star children with all 12 strands of DNA activated are showing up. So these are the unique kids we've been waiting for. They're going to help change the planet, help bring us into a new level of consciousness. So if you're the grandparent or the parent of these unique children, then this course is for you. So what else is up in your life, Annette? Did your money come through?
Well, I'm waiting on it, and I want to say that there is something attached that's hidden that has to do with self-worth. So
Absolutely.
I use the mantra that says, I am worthy to receive, and all things through God is abundant. I use affirmations for that, but maybe there's something else tied from a past life that has to do with self-worth. And I have a problem, I've always had a problem with, I like materialism, so I have to find a happy, I don't think I have a happy balance between non-material and material. It comes and goes. I think it teeters between both all the time. And I would rather just have know that God provides it for me because I like beautiful things. So I'm being honest. So that is a problem with me. So maybe there's something that's tied to that, there's a lesson in this.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. So the whole concept of self-worth is much deeper and troubling for us as humans than most of us can imagine. That is that we've been inculturated or inculcated from the moment that we were born that we need to fit into the societal structure in which we were birthed into. And every culture pretty well has this unless it's indigenous, that you have to work hard, you have to fit in, you have to achieve in order to succeed. And then, the concept of original sin, that, that we're all guilty of original sin, that we're not pure or whatever it is. This allows us to feel comfortable in our own bodies and in our unique gifts. And this is why working with the rainbow children is so important, because we want to catch these children before they are, indoctrinated with all these false beliefs. Because when you come through as a rainbow child, or when you came through in that, you came through full-blown, fully conscious, fully alive, fully connected to Source. And so it's not as though we're evolving to a higher state of consciousness. It's almost like we're devolving to remember who we are, that we are fully activated when we are born. And it's our own shame, guilt, fear, and everything that we're not enough that has separated us from Source. And when we're connected to Source, that infinite flow of energy provides for us, like you said. That sort of upsets you, to put it in different words, that you're not taken care of. You work hard, you do your spiritual work, you help other people, then why doesn't God provide for you, or why doesn't Source provide for you? And the answer is because it's a lesson. And the lesson is to learn how to love yourself unconditionally, that you are enough, no matter what you say or do. You always have been enough, you always will be enough. So to let go of that is really, really deep for most of us, myself included. And then the second part of it, that you're absolutely right, is the wrong aspect of money. That money has got nothing to do with our self-worth. It has everything to do with us loving ourselves. And if we love ourselves and we know and believe in our heart of hearts that we are enough, then the money will flow because we're matching the vibrational frequency to it. So those two things, like you say, are showing up in your life as the primary teachers for you as a spiritual person who's developing to work on yourself to bring you back to center, to stand in your truth no matter what, become unshakable, to make the next evolutionary step. So you're not alone. I think, myself included, we're all learning these lessons, right? And hopefully
Yeah.
learn them with ease and grace and gratitude. So your mantra is, I like your longer one, the shorter mantra is, I am enough. Period. I am enough. So when you do your clearing, you can say, I translate, transmute, transfigure, heal, and repair all non-beneficial energies that exclude me from knowing in my heart of hearts that I am enough. And I declare it so be it, it is done. And then when you install, you can say, I install the belief that I am enough, always have been enough, always will be enough. So mote it be, it's done. And that, over 21 days will really change your vibrational frequency. Money should start to manifest. Synchronicity should start occurring in your life. And, the intrusions into your energy field will lessen. So I think you're right. I think it's the last piece of the puzzle. Congratulations for discovering that. It's a biggie. But it's simple to solve. Well, the idea is simple to solve, but we do have to catch ourselves every moment we go into fear, doubt, shame, or guilt, and do the reversal. So yeah, so well done. Great.
Yeah, I could go into that old story that, like Job in the Bible, and the story of in this particular case, I could go into that and repeat that story about a lot of my money was the individual used mind control and the people embezzled the monies along the way, or it never got to my mailbox, or it never got to even my post box. So you can actually say that, does the devil have a hold on the monies? Is the devil the root of all evil? So if you choose to go the non-material route, then you are saved. It's a balanced thing, and it's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Does evil exist in the world? Well, yeah, evil exists in the world in the sense that there has to be the balance between light and dark, positive and negative. Where we get into problems when we put value judgments on it, we say, well, that's the devil, or that's the disincarnate this or that, whatever. We want to judge it. Look, everything is from God. Everything is from source. On the highest level, God, I am God. Everything is an extension of me because I am God. And it flows through me. So that means the positive and the negative, the good and the bad, the ugly, all of the definitions that we put on it, which are value judgments, are all from source. And they're all there for our own learning. And because we write our own script, we're writing our own play, then all the negative and positive that we want to say is good or bad shows up in our life for our own soul's growth. So the sooner we can get out of judgment, the sooner we can accept that what appears to be evil or what appears to be dark or the dark lords are there for us to remember who we are, that we are light beings, that we're all powerful, that we are from source, and we have all those gifts. And when we take those gifts and we stand in the truth of that and declare it, then all of that negativity must and will fall away. It's like the little candle will light the darkness. So the darkness is there for us to remember who we are. And it's not that it's negative, it's just like yin and yang. The higher level of yin and yang, the synthesis of it is the Tao, but it's always changing. The yin is becoming the yang and the yang is becoming the yin. So you can't say, well, the yin is negative or positive or the yang is negative or positive. It's always in flow. So when we get attached to the flow and put a value judgment on it, that's when we get into trouble. Hopefully that made some sense to you.
Yes, it does. But I'm a unique case. I mean, in the sense that maybe not, but I just find it I'm very eccentric in the sense of that that's not normal. It's not normal.
Well,
It
no,
is
I mean,
not
if it was normal,
normal.
you'd be have a 9 to 5 job and you'd be settled in with making $1 million trillion. The thing is that, these children, these rainbow children, you being a forerunner of this evolution and consciousness, our job was never to fit in. Our job was to arrive here unique. We're the pattern busters. We're the breaking the pattern, the mold. We're removing the bondage. Your job was never to fit in. And yes, you had success when you did fit in. I mean, money did flow in your life. You were able to read books, but there was a time in which you needed to graduate to the next level to understand how to operate the integrity of who you are in a different way. And that's not according to the old paradigm because it's falling away. So all the light workers, it used to be that we were able to exist in the old paradigm fairly well, not make lots of money, but be able to coexist and fit in enough that we could do fairly well. But now we're not being asked to do that anymore. We're being told there's a new way of manifesting, and we need to learn how to do that. So the old way of showing up is being excluded from us. So, and you're one of those. So you don't have a choice. You've got to move forward. You've got to pass this evolutionary test so that you can learn to manifest in this new way, which is effortless. No fuss, no muss, which is showing up in your integrity, and then your vibrational frequency of who you are then attracts the abundance that is your gift, is your birthright. It will show up almost as if it were spontaneously arriving, almost like it's delivered by UPS knocking at your door. It will arrive in all sorts of unique ways. And if we start getting frustrated over that, or you're not answering the doorbell, it's not going to show up. So, and the reason I'm saying
I don't know. I think
I'm in the midst of this too, and I'm sure that many, many people are. The knot hole between the old paradigm and the new paradigm, a lot of us are being pulled through the knot hole. Some of us are kicking and screaming, but through the knot hole we must go, because the old order changeth, yielding place to new, and the old order won't exist and won't work for much longer.
yeah, I know that. I'm seeing. I feel it, and I think though that I don't know what I wanted to say now, so I just have to say that a lot of my, there is the normal way of life, and then there's the next way of life. So, there's a movie called The World According to Garp, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And it was quite different from the rest of the world. And that's how I look at my life. It's just sort of like, okay. But I took a real serious situation and wrote about it. It's a funny thing, I tried to figure this thing out as much as I can. And I can only say that we try to cope with certain situations as best as we could, material that we have. And whether we want to get into the dance or not, we are forced to be into the dance, and it doesn't happen the way we think. And why? Because there was lessons, and there could be a lot of karmic lessons. But on the end of this whole situation, I've come to the conclusion is that I teach this individual the lesson. And that is the lesson, is that of all the things that they've done, and I've still stood tall. And I think that is the lesson that I had to teach this individual, whether they got the lesson or not. That. So, you can look at it as karmic in the beginning, maybe, but as the time went on, it didn't turn out that way. And it isn't and it isn't that way today either, because I was able to withstand the kind of darkness.
Yeah, the thing to remember in all this is, we think that we're going this path alone. We think that the dark night of the soul is ours alone. We think that we're doing the 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, and the temptation is only our own. But in actual fact is that we're all connected through unity consciousness. So when one of us sees the light and breaks through, or takes back our power, or says, "Get thee behind me, Satan," or stands in our truth, or however we do that, however we claim our sovereign right that we are one with God, I art thou, always have been, always will be. And that's an unshakable truth. And no being on any dimension, from any planet, from any galaxy, or any being can shake you from that truth, because you know that in the heart of your heart that it is. Then you're a free sovereign being, and you and source are one. You become unshakable. And then when you do that, the beauty of that is it has a multiplier effect that's tremendous, because even in just your own family, it goes back 6 generations. It goes forward 9 generations through your children, your children's children's children. So just you clearing, you standing in your truth and bringing this down, you're clearing somewhere in the neighborhood of 26,000 souls. So this is important work. And, being on the vanguard of this and learning how to do this, and then writing books about it and teaching others how to do it, is really important work. Because if you think of the 100th monkey, and you're thinking about 26,000 people that each person clears, it really does, can happen quite quickly, that we have a planetary shift in transformation, and that we do live in a new world or new age. Another interesting way of looking at that I've been made aware of is that new earth, that new way of being, is right here. It's literally coexisting with us in this moment. And because it is, we just don't see it. So I'm just going to answer the phone here. So hello, this is Tyson Bannigan. You're on Facebook Live and on a Zoom call. I know that you're wanting to talk to me about my bookkeeping, but guess what? You're live. So I'll get back to you with the documents that you need. So unless you want to say hello to everybody.
Thanks, I got your message.
All right then, bye for now.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
So yeah, that's the bookkeeper. So yeah, we have to live on planet Earth and submit our documents. And guess what? I just had to vote today. The lesser of many evils, even though I just said that there's no evil on the planet. The less conscious choice between Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Anyway, I chose the middle road. So blessings on all those that run for politics. I just wish we had more choices. So yeah, those are great awarenesses that you're coming to, Annette. Very powerful.
Yeah, it's thank you, Tyson. It is only through others that you can hear certain things resonate with you, and that in itself is enough to be a little bit normal.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's the beauty of the whole idea of finding the force is when you're in the midst of all this change and transformation, and you've studied healing and transformation and shamanism, and you know that there's a different way to be on planet Earth, and you know that these gifts are real, then it's really hard because most people around you don't understand that. So who do you talk to? Who do you share this, what you're going through? And this is why these calls are so important, and why the group, the Finding the Force, is so important. Is it's a network, it's a community of like-minded people that can share these understandings and help each other grow. Because collectively, when we do this, not only do we have the multiplier effect of 36,000 that you affect, when you and I work together on this call, it's not 36,000 times 36,000. We're now into a geometrical progression. So can you imagine if we added a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth and an eighth and a 20th person to this call? I mean, now we're really bringing about change and transformation just by showing up. And we don't even have to say anything, do anything. We just have to be consciously aware and process our emotions and get back into gratitude and being grateful about what's showing up, right? The good, we could call it good, bad, or ugly. And when we do that, we become a leading light, an example that attracts other people. And the transformation and change that we want in our lives and everybody else's life and on the planet happens spontaneously. So this is really, really exciting work to do. So people say, so Tyson, why do you do this? And I say, well, I want to change the planet. And so what's important to me is that to get each person to do this, because, you know, if I can get you to stand in your own truth, right, and then you will change the planet just by you doing what you're doing. And that's powerful.
Oh, very. And also what's interesting is that as you're growing spiritually and rising above the mundane, you also see family members or people that you work with that can be used as instruments to also this is not the right word, irritate or to try to affect you. And it's not that you are in stone and you can't move, or it's not that you are not needing change with your own habits or whatever, but it is, I tend to see things now that I didn't, that people can be used to get to you. And
well, let's change
that's an
that
interesting thing.
It's not really that people can be used to get to you. It's really that on the soul level, you chose these people to show up in your life to constantly remind you who you were and that you needed to come from your higher self. And so you chose them. They're just doing a very good job. In fact, they're doing such a good job, they should get an Academy Award for the job that they're doing. And guess what? They showed up for your script in your play, and you wrote the play or the movie. And guess what? You can change the script and change the movie anytime that you want. So, you know, it's such a trap to get into something, you know, saying that there's something is happening outside of myself. Nothing is happening outside of yourself. It's all happening inside of yourself. It all has to do with how you react to the situation. What is your emotional energy in the moment that something's happening to you? And when you have no further reaction, or you can deal with it with elegance and grace or whatever the magic words are, then you're free. And the beauty of that is you're not only free of that individual, you're free of every other individual in any galactic system that's at the same vibrational level as the person that you just adequately dealt with. So you're done. You literally graduate. That person, that type of person will never, ever, ever show up in your lifetime. And I'm willing to bet, and I don't know this, but I'm willing to bet that when you raise your consciousness to deal adequately that person, that not only does it exclude every other being in any galaxy at that vibrational level, I think it also means that in future incarnations, you'll never have to deal with anybody at that vibrational level again either. So if that were true,
thank God.
Wouldn't that be, yeah, thank God. Isn't that well worth getting it done, you know, now? Because as you said, you've been going through this, you know, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So why not, you know, get it done this lifetime so you don't have to deal with it again? And of course, there'll be other tests. But, you know, as soon as you learn that you change your consciousness, you change your world, then it gives you the clues to how to move through the next level of change and transformation with more ease and grace.
That's very true. Do you know that everything, lifetime after lifetime, this is for everyone, that everything was tied to the earth chakra? So it's a box. And in this box that I was looping, and I found it, I was looping lifetime, same issues, the same issues. And I finally found the issues, and I am no longer going to go next lifetime with issues.
Right.
Really good.
Yeah. So you're rewriting your script. I mean, just the sheer fact that you're saying this is enough of that, it is the very force that will start to do the transformation. When you've had enough and had to put your foot down, enough is enough is enough is enough. We're back on Facebook Live, and we're talking about, with Annette, we're talking about, you know, this lifetime, any lifetime, when you've had enough of whatever is showing up in your life because you're writing the script, and you put your foot down and you come to it in the heart of your hearts that enough is enough is enough. It's done. It's getting very close to being done. The thing is to get out of anger and frustration and get into gratitude and thankfulness that this person or this situation has showed up in your life, so that you can spiritually graduate yourself by dealing with it in a mutually beneficial way that releases you and the bit actor that's in your face that's causing you to have the pain and suffering, which you brought into your life for that purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like advanced Ho'oponopono.
Yeah. Yeah. I, but you know, but you have to admit that the other actors in this play are really, you know, couldn't you abolish it by just saying it's karmic and just find out those past lives and eradicate it? No, you can't just do that, because there's much more that you have to discover and understand.
Yeah, and think of it in terms of energy, you know, and rather than thinking about in terms of intellect or lessons that need to be learned or discovering something or knowing something, think about it in energy from your heart, you know, which comes from gratitude, love, forgiveness, all of those vibrations. And think of it that way, that when, no matter what's showing up in your life, you can find gratitude for the situation and love for the bit characters that you created in your life, and you unconditionally love yourself and forgive yourself and them, you know, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you, then you're freeing them and freeing you, and they don't have to show up anymore to remind you that that was what you're supposed to have been doing in the first place.
But for a while there, Tyson, I thank you for saying that. But for a while, I was mesmerized by the idea that, is there a solution to someone with a fatal attraction? And is it death do us part? I mean, even though you say to the universe and say that it is ending, don't they have to say that it's ending for them also, or do they continue even though you end it?
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. So when you end it, it ends for them. I mean, the thing to remember is nothing, absolutely nothing, is outside of yourself. I mean, everything in the world appears that it's outside of yourself. But you know, where's the eyeball that sees? What's the picture? Where do you see it? Do you see the house, or do you see the tree behind you? And that, do you see the actual tree? No, you don't. You see the reflection of the light from that in your eye, inside of you. So everything's inside of you. There's nothing outside of you. You're the one that's interpreting everything. Everything's showing up for you. And so that means that you're the progenitor of it, and you're the creator of it, and you're the one that can change it. And that includes absolutely everything. 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 You know, I am thou. You know, thou art me. You know, it's like there's no separation. There's only unity. And so when we understand that there is no other, the other is an illusion, then it's not, we understand that anything that we attack outside of ourselves or blame or say that's causing me pain or suffering is causing the pain and suffering inside of you. It's inside of you that is being triggered. And they're not doing anything to you. You're doing it to yourself, and it's your reaction to what you think they're doing to you. And I know that that sounds, you know, wow, but it's really quite simple. You know, all profound things are quite simple. You know, it's just being able to grok that in every moment, to be able to make that truly alive in your life, that you are the progenitor of everything that shows up in your life. That's the lesson.
Yeah. It's a mighty big lesson.
Oh, it's a mighty big lesson. Absolutely. We come back lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So I just wanted to do a loop back to what you were saying, you know, about lifetimes and vows. I just put on the Dowsing and Energy Healing website, I think it's 14 vows that this lady created for tapping. And it's a list of vows that you may have made in past lives. And people on the Facebook page, Dowsing and Energy Healing, getting a lot of results by dowsing and going through those 14 vows and seeing if they're still affecting them in this lifetime, and then releasing themselves from the vow and getting great results. So I really encourage you to go over to that Facebook page and take a look at that and do the exercise. Well worth it.
Okay.
I was
Okay,
quite
thank you.
surprised, what I thought I might be attached to in a vow, I wasn't. And what I didn't have any clue about, I was. So it was an eye-opener for me. So that's, the vow of chastity, that you agree only to love God, that you will, humility, surrender, all of those, all of those vows that we've taken. And, and some of them are beneficial, like taking the bodhisattva vows that you are not going to achieve final enlightenment until all sentient beings are enlightened. That's a conscious choice that you can make, So some vows you may want to maintain, but so you could also put it, any vow that inhibits my spiritual growth, right?
Yeah, I will look on that page. Tyson, I felt this a long time ago, before any of this ever happened to me. I felt that somewhere I really didn't belong here. And I found out that when I was about to come into this world, that I really didn't want to come into this world.
Yeah, but you're not the only one.
I was,
you're not the only one. I mean, there was a Facebook thing that said, what did you remember when you were a kid? Well, what I remember is what did I want? I wanted my space brothers to come and pick me up. Like, who put me here anyway? This is the wrong planet. So you're not the only one out there that feels like, hey, I don't remember putting up my hand and volunteering to end up on planet Earth on this change and transformation. But guess what? You did. You chose to have a front row seat in the most amazing time on this planet, and you're front and center, and you're part of the, you're part of the play. You chose to join this massive play to bring in the new dawn and the new era. And guess what? You're one of the central characters.
Well, I wanted just a cameo appearance, not the main part.
No, it's your stage, babe.
Yeah, well.
When did you forget they were reading the script?
I forgot that I was writing this script, but I didn't. I'm the one who just wanted to be married and have the white picket fence.
Yeah, so forget that. That's long gone.
Forget that, because we didn't get that.
No.
So,
no, I wanted I wanted an ordinary life and have lots of money in abundance, and I didn't get that either. And so, I have a very sore back to prove to me that doesn't work. That if I want to have a little hissy fit about thinking that my self-worth is connected to my money or to abundance, then I can continue to flagellate my body and torture it, and I'm going to end up with a sore back. Or I can say, look, this is pretty stupid. This is not the way to manifest in the new operating system for planet Earth, which we're teaching in Minding the Force, www.mindingtheforce.ca, .com. The new way of operating is that I am all right, Jack, always have been all right, always will be all right, and that there is no connection between my self-worth and the money I make. And in fact, the more I love myself unconditionally, the more energetically I match the divine flow of abundance that is my birthright, and it will show up on my front door with ease and grace. But do you think I can get, I've been working on this for years, but some of us, including myself, are a real slow learner. I got to learn the hard way. I'm so conditioned to push and shove and kick and scream and complain and tell God it isn't fair that I'm doing all this spiritual work and helping people. And, where's the UPS with my bundle of gold? How come I'm not being taken care of? And I'm having a little hissy fit, I'm a little snot-nosed kid. And I'm being told, no, that's not the way this works, The way it works is you got to match the energy. It's your play. And so if you want to be snotty-nosed about it, you're going to ruin the very energy that you want to create. So yeah, So my painful back, which is in the midst of healing, I had another session this morning, is a good reminder that no, especially at 75 or 73 or whatever I am, age is irrelevant, but it does get more painful, when you hang on to these beliefs, the older you get. And when you're 30, you could, plow through things, tenaciously and hold on to your belief system, and your body would just have to survive. But at 70 plus, your body says, hey, I've had enough of this. You're not the bull in the china shop anymore. Slow down, right? Or it's gonna
I don't know. I don't. I always point out to people that look at Colonel Sanders, who was 65 years old, who started Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, he was 65. There's many women models who are. There's a woman model on the internet, 83, that looks fantastic. So I really don't think. I know we fight against age and fight against things, but I don't really think. I think that people are blessed at different ages,
Yeah,
and
I think we're like
that's how
flowers. We
I.
bloom at different times.
Yes, yes. I
And,
just don't
and
think.
Colonel Sanders, bless his soul, Colonel Sanders, if he ate his own chicken, he'd been dead a lot earlier. So, some of these,
Yeah, I agree. But a lot of people still eat his chicken here in the U.S. So
I know.
I don't know. I know. No, I agree with you, Tyson. Uh, I had no concept, well, of how dark is dark. I had no concept. I was living it as one of the people on here that said one time, well, you don't acknowledge the dark as much. That was correct. I don't, because who wants to know about the dark? I mean,
Well,
they're on the lower
obviously,
chain.
you need to know about the dark. Otherwise, it's going to bite your
I
ass.
I guess I did, but I didn't want to. I thought nobody wants to know about the dark. Who cares about the dark? They're on the lower chain of the evolution. Who cares?
Yeah, but
But
they're
I guess
without piranhas, in the swamp or piranhas in the Amazon, it wouldn't clean up the death and the dying. So, without grandmother Ishkame, who grinds the bones of the dead, there wouldn't be the recycling of energy. So there's always that function, of energy that needs to be recycled. That we want to say is the death or the death cult, or it's we want to put a judgment on it. But all of that's just part of the evolutionary cycle of energy, evolution, devolution, birth, death.
well, that's a very good point. And one other thing I want to say is that after a layer upon layer being taken off of me and getting to the higher realm of the core of me, I can find that I can tell you, and this is kind of deep, is that at the end of that individual that was of the dark, he was ruled by the reptilians. So what is his name? Ike, who talks on YouTube a lot, talks about reptilians and reptilians being behind a lot of the people on the planet. There is a validity to that. And I never
Well,
thought there would be, but it is true.
yeah, there is, but there's good and bad reptilians. It's
Yeah.
every species or every interplanetary species, every space species that does genetic engineering on any other species, like what was done to humans, is responsible. They were playing God, and they were playing with the creation, and they are responsible for the evolution of that consciousness. And if they want to ascend or go to a higher level of awareness and not cease to exist, guess what? Just like you in your reincarnation of cleaning up past lives, they have to come and clean up all the DNA that they messed with. There's no free lunch. You're responsible for everything that you did. And so many of the reptilians now realize that as the earth goes through this change and transformation, they've got to come back and assist those that they genetically modified. Otherwise, they're trapped in the lower realms as well. So, I think that's really interesting. So there's no escape hatch, right? We're all responsible for our actions, and even in the area of genetic manipulation. So
Yeah,
what I
I
mean by
agree
that
with you.
is, don't get caught up that, once a, a reptilian is a bad reptilian. No, a reptilian is just like a human. They can go down the wrong path, right? But they have to wake up at some time. Otherwise, they get recycled into another, planetary
Yeah,
stream, another evolutionary process, right?
right. And someone told me recently that the reptilians now are surfacing more on the planet. They're not staying down below. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Men in Dark plays with the idea of, the men walking along in dark suits with their tail falling out behind them. My son loved that show. I remember meeting in a theater in the beginning of the, Men in Black. There was a sequence of the planet blowing up, and my son turned to me and said, "Are we okay? Did we just, get blown up?" I said, "No, we're okay." The power of movies. But yeah, it doesn't matter what species you come from, reptilian or otherwise, you are all part of the evolutionary process of consciousness. And, if you don't want to evolve, you don't have to, but there's consequences from that, right? Or if you think that you have the powers of God, of creation, then yes, you do, but you're responsible for everything you create. So all of the negativity that comes from all that species that you created, it's your karma, and you have to deal with it. So at some point when you wake up and know that you're on a evolutionary path and that you are responsible and there is no power over, then you have to go clean it up. You have to go clean up your poo-poo. And that sometimes can take lifetimes. So,
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say a joke here. I remember in a dowsing in 1995, and that's when I started dowsing. And this man came out and he said, "Where they're from?" And he drew a picture of me in front of everybody, where the spaceship came in and landed. And he said, "That's you. You got off, and two went back." And you were from the Orion Galaxy, and you were here for the Diva plants. And I guess it stuck with me. I started laughing about that. But now that I'm thinking about it, it isn't so far fetched.
no, of course
It
it's not.
really isn't far fetched.
When you listen to the 3
Yeah.
interviews about the Sasquatch on the Wellness Show, that you'll discover that the Sasquatch hitchhike with ETs all the time. They're interdimensional travelers, right? So the reason you don't see them embodied very often is because they can't trust human beings that want to, go hunt them down and have a trophy on their wall. But they're our bigger brothers. They're far more advanced than we are. And so, coming in and out of spaceships to planet Earth is quite normal for many species, including Sasquatch. So, that remembering or somebody helping you understand that you stepped off a spacecraft is not that far out. I mean, we're all here at this unique time because we chose to be here. I mean, if we were able to have an overview, there would be hundreds and millions and thousands of souls trying to incarnate on the planet Earth at this time for this grand experiment. I mean, this is the time. This is, the time of prophecy. This is what is being foretold. This is why it's so critical. This is why creating community with finding the force is so powerful. This is the time we've been waiting for. This is the time of prophecy. This is, we're looking for our brothers and sisters. It's a shamanic tradition that has, told us of these times. And here we are, whether it was the Mayan calendar or whatever, or the turning of the Kali Yuga or the birthing of the age of Aquarius. Here we are at this critical point, and we're the forerunners. We're the beings that we've been waiting for. And that's why these rainbow children coming through, helping them feel comfortable on planet Earth when we didn't feel comfortable because nobody got who we were. I want to be there as a welcoming committee to help these kids, the rainbow children, feel comfortable in their skin that, yes, they did choose the right planet. And yeah, let's get to work. Let's join our hands together and let's link our hearts. Let's create the energy of transformation and change. Let's bring about this multiplier effect. Let's create this 100 monthly on planet Earth. Let's get this job done. And why not? So with that, we're at 4:08, and we've been coming in and out of Facebook, which probably didn't drive anybody mad who's trying to listen to the Facebook after the fact. So I'll just wait until hopefully Facebook will come in back on so I can tell people how to get this call. Mind you, I can also post it, on the Facebook page that they can come to the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy and listen to the full-blown recording. So, Annette, thank you for showing up. I always love our conversations. Hopefully they're useful for you. I get to mouth off and stand on my podium on my soapbox, and I get to say things that I otherwise couldn't say if you didn't ask the really good questions. So I love you and appreciate you showing up and being there so that we can learn and grow together. So,
Likewise.
yeah.
Likewise, Tyson. I had a question before you get off.
All right.
This is not well, what is she asking this for? But I had a dream, and but the four individuals, they were like college age, and they came down, and they sat like in a just a regular cross from each other. But then it was a voice. It's as though they brought this voice down. Were mediums, and they brought this voice that was talking to me. And I don't know if that was a good thing. I don't remember what the person was saying, but it was saying something directly to me. It's as though they had opened up a portal, or they brought a bubble of something, and they were trying to talk to him. This voice was trying to talk to me. Do you have any idea what that was?
No, I don't.
Or what it was?
But, when I tune into that, it feels positive. So,
Okay.
when you go to sleep, you could say, if that portal is opening up, I feel protected. I bring in Archangel Michael to protect my connection through this portal. I'm safe, sound, and grounded to Mother Earth through my heart chakra. And now I'm willing to communicate to any benevolent beings who are from the light through this portal, and then allow it to happen. But always protect yourself, always make sure that you're protected. And you know how to do that. But I get the sense that, other dimensions want to talk to you. And I'm going to say this because I'm starting to get shivers up my spine, which is always an indication that the antenna is, tuning in. What if that is your space brothers and sisters? Maybe those are the beings that brought you here in the first place. And maybe they're saying, Annette, it's time that we reconnect because we want to help you from the other dimensions to understand what it is that your unique piece of the puzzle is in bringing about this transformation. So wouldn't that be cool?
Would be very cool. That would be very cool.
So go for it.
Yeah. Okay, I will, Tyson. Thank you.
Well, you're most welcome. And on that note, and we have Facebook Live. We're back on with Facebook Live. Sorry, the connection. I was hoping technology would be brilliantly solved, but no, the one-eyed god of technology ruled the day. I have no idea how to fix this, but as we move forward, maybe there will be miracles, and we'll have Facebook Live all the way live, not dead, all the way through these meetings. However, the full recording, the first part on Facebook and the last part on Zoom, will all be in the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy, ready for you to review. We'll give you a link on Facebook and Tyson Bannigan. There'll be the link for you to go on to get the recording. And I think this time I'm going to make the recording for free. It normally costs you $33 to come on. It gives you like 2 years worth of recordings of conversations, which are really unique. It's a great body of information, lots and lots of stuff there. So it's worth the $33 a month. But I'm going to make this one for free to give you a sense of why I think it's worthwhile for you to jump in with this body of information. There's everything from healing, clearing houses, extraterrestrials, working with interplanetary beings, how to do geomatic studies, how to talk with earth energies, how to work with elementals, and on and on and on and on, how to clean your auric field. And anyway, those are great things for you to listen to at your own leisure. And of course, you can head over to www.energydetective.ca and have a body of information there. You can also come on to the closed Facebook group, which is Dowsing and Energy Healing. Just do a search for that. Join us there. I think this morning we hit the magic number of 1,111, and the angel number around that was really powerful. It says that we're all about to receive amazing guidance, which, by the way, Annette, really aligns with what you're saying. opening that portal of communication to your star elders and star beings. And at the beginning of this call, we talked about having a rainbow camp this summer in the Shuswap to work with these brand new kids that are coming through, the crystals, the rainbow children, and the indigo children. So if you're interested in that, hop onto my Facebook page. There'll be links there. And if you're looking for a tribe to continue this discussion as we move forward, which brings Hermeticism, shamanistic studies together, then join us at www.findingtheforce.com. And by the way, I didn't say this, but we're all going to Mexico together. We have a trip arranged where we're going to go and work with the shaman I've been working with, Miguel Angel. And we're going to do a ceremony, and it will be the full moon in December, and we'll be there for New Year's. So it's going to be a really powerful, powerful time to be at the sacred sites in the Mayan lands. And we're going to be starting in Merida. So if that's something that excites you, we'd love to have you on that journey. So that's it for now. I'm going to say goodbye. This has been a bumpy ride for you on Facebook Live, but I guess that's the way it is. And for Annette on Zoom, it was great talking to you again. So until next time, next Tuesday, bye for now, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thank you, Tyson. Thank you.
And thank you for showing up. Bye for now.